Welcome to Jamaica Calling, or look at the connection between Jamaica and its diaspora ahead of the 6th Biennial Diaspora Conference from June 13 to 18 in Montego Bay.
Go round the bend, me say go tell your friend. When me check it out loud, no way no better than yard.
There are many Jamaicans who long to be in a foreign land, and there are others who have lived in foreign countries but couldn't resist the lure of returning to the beautiful Jamaica. Such is the story of our two guests in this feature, looking at the journey of returning residents.
Jamaica, 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 Jamaica.
When Hugh Morris left Jamaica in the 1960s, he was fortunate enough to have landed a job fresh out of Michael Teachers College into the education system of Canada. There he worked as a school administrator for many years, and he used that position and the connections to bridge the gap between Jamaica and Canada.
Fortunately for me, I was involved in education and a number of social organizations connecting with Jamaica. And through education, I was involved with the Jamaica School a Child project, which sought to assist schools in Jamaica. At the same time, as first vice president and also secretary of the Jamaican Canadian Association, which was formed as far back as 1962, we provided assistance to Jamaica on a variety of levels, especially whenever there was a disaster. We were able to provide assistance there. So my connection, and also at the tertiary level, connecting the Michael University with York University on a variety of programs.
Percival Lou went to the United Kingdom in the late 1950s and became one of the first black men to own a petrol station in London. His connections in that position would see him acting as a mediator between families in Jamaica and their loved ones in the UK. That role would later motivate him to form the Returning Residents Association of Jamaica when he returned home. He explains how he got to the stage of mediator.
In those days, your contact will take, it's not by telephone, it has to be by telegram. Telegram takes 4, 5, 6, 7 days to reach from there to back home. Right? So your contact was in writing. And then your letter, everybody was quicker to write a letter to mom and dad. I'm happy I'm doing this and blah, blah. You know whatever. Right? So those were the things, the days. But we started that in my last job, and where I was living, there were some young guys there who had themselves in problems. Like I said, 3/4 of them were not guilty of what the crime that they placed on them. So we decided now that we'll have a little group together to assist those guys. Because we found out that most of them got themselves into trouble because of their wrong attire, wrong color, wrong accent, and that's it. So I was one of the main guys who had to go to the police station, get them out, get the parents come, get them to hospital, help them. So that's how I stayed tied into our Jamaicans overseas.
Cause we not check it out loud. No, we no better than yard.
Jamaica takes pride in its diaspora, and nowadays there are a plethora of activities that link the diaspora to home. But as Hugh Morris explains, that took some time to be accomplished.
It was a growing process. At times, yes, there were colleagues and individuals who complained about not being accommodated whenever they came down to Jamaica to do business in the areas of real estate in particular, or to complete their for deaths of their family, services in general. I was very fortunate in that I also had a relationship with Jamaican National Building Society as one of its overseas agent, and given the responsibility to help to organize promotional meetings. And so Jamaican National and other building societies outreach to Jamaicans living overseas and assisted to provide them with information. Many Jamaicans were looking for information in a variety of areas. And so in the early days and ongoing, these institutions were able to provide the necessary information and keep people connected.
The experience in England for Percival Lou was very different. He says back then there was very little connection between Jamaica and the diaspora.
Very little in the early years, very little. We were, and I tell you why. Barbadians. When Barbadians get to England, they have a government-to-government relationship, a contract. So they could take Barbadians to England without even paying a fare. And they will go up and work and they deduct it from their salary. They also, when they get to England, they went into lodging. They have a lodging prepared for them and a job prepared for them. We didn't have that privilege. We had to go there, hunt down for jobs and hunt down for a place to live. Right? So there were two different things. They had a government-to-government relationship. We didn't have that. Nobody cares about us when we were living here. Right? And that's something that we should never allow to happen again.
He says that situation has greatly changed.
It has changed because there are more active relationship between the Jamaican government and the Jamaicans live overseas. They're more active relationship. I don't think the government is, the foreign ministry had anything to do with it. All Jamaicans, maybe 98% of Jamaicans who left here and went to the UK, make sure that every month there's a little package coming down to mom and dad and brothers and sisters and cousins and friends. You send a few pounds, £5, £3, whatever it wanted to be. In those days there were big monies. There were not much activities with repatriation of funds to Jamaica by the foreign ministry. But today, the foreign ministry and the consulate is seen in every nook and cranny in the UK to assist if there is any assistance that you want, that you require. They will do that now. That wasn't there at first.
Percival Lou is the founding president of the Returning Residents Association, a movement he formed after witnessing the difficulties experienced by Jamaicans who plan to return home. He says from Customs Department to having trustworthy alliances on the island, support is critical in the plan to return to Jamaica. According to Mr. Lou, one main contribution of returning residents is the provision of jobs, but he says the buck doesn't stop there.
They created jobs for thousands of Jamaicans. That's good enough. There are thousands of Jamaicans, both gardener, household helper, carpenter, builders, farming, minibus, taxis. So they have created a lot of jobs and they have done a lot of things for the schools and the hospital. We have spent millions of dollars with schools, back to school, help to repair schools, hospitals over the years. At Christmas time we go and we feed those inmates at the infirmaries and things like those. So the returning resident is an asset and also an industry by itself.
And that's our look at returning residents and the crucial role they play in the development of their homeland.